Welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're tuning in today because we are setting out to explore literally the ultimate supercomputer, the human brain. Today, we're going to break down the science, the psychology, and the exact daily habits of insanely high-functioning minds, pulling all this complex data into a totally clear, actionable roadmap. So let's jump right in and uncover the blueprint for a sharper, way more vibrant mind.
Now, here is the million-dollar question, right? Are geniuses born, or can anyone train their brain to think like one? For decades, we've kind of treated intelligence as this fixed destiny, a genetic lottery ticket you either cash in at birth or you don't. But what if we completely flipped that paradigm? What if your intellect is actually super malleable, holding this limitless potential just waiting to be architected by your everyday choices? As you're going to see throughout this explainer, the science points to a much, much more empowering reality.
So what actually makes a genius mind? Well, true genius completely redefines our old-school understanding of intelligence. As you can see, it isn't just a single number on a standard IQ scale. It's a totally dynamic, multifaceted mix. Yeah, it requires high intelligence and creative thinking, for sure, but it also leans heavily on emotional control, open-mindedness, and the sheer persistence to learn from failure, all backed by foundational habits like exercise and sleep. It's truly a full system approach. In fact, intelligence actually progresses through 4 distinct types. IQ is really just the baseline, your traditional logical and analytical capacity. But right on its heels are EQ, your emotional quotient, AQ, your adaptability quotient, and SQ, your social quotient. Think about it. If you can't regulate your emotions, adapt to a crazy, fast-paced world, or navigate social situations, all those raw book smarts aren't going to get you very far. And it goes even further. The definition of intellect expands into a web of 9 completely distinct branches. You might not be a math prodigy, but hey, maybe you've got profound linguistic or word-smart intelligence. Or musical intelligence. Maybe you're highly kinesthetic and body-smart, or naturalist and nature-smart. The point is, every single one of us possesses unique cognitive strengths that are just waiting to be tapped into and developed. Let's move on to Section 1, the science of neuroplasticity. This brings us to a fundamental concept, neuroplasticity. This right here is the exact science that completely shattered the old myth that only kids can get smarter. Your brain has this mind-blowing ability to physically adapt, change its structure, and form entirely new neural connections based on your experiences, your learning, and your daily practice. So whether you're 20, 50, or 80 years old, your brain is physically rewiring itself based on how you use it. But, and this is a big but, we have to actively maintain it. Check out this stat because it's definitely going to create a sense of urgency. Starting in our late 20s, adults actually lose about 1% of the volume of their hippocampus every single year. That's the exact region of the brain responsible for processing new knowledge and memories. 1% every single year physically shrinking if we just sit back and do nothing. It is literally use it or lose it. Okay, don't panic. We have the power to fight back. So let's pivot to some empowering solutions. Research shows that simply cutting out preservatives and artificial dyes from your diet can actually increase IQ test scores by a remarkable 14%. Honestly, just by cleaning up the fuel you're putting into the engine, your cognitive output jumps significantly. And here is another massive dietary win to keep in mind. Eating seafood, which is packed with healthy fats, has been shown to lower the occurrence of dementia by a staggering 30%. To put that in perspective, what we put on our plates quite literally builds or degrades the physical architecture of our minds. When we pull all these statistics together, the stakes become crystal clear. Eating whole foods gives you that 14% cognitive boost, while sleep is just as absolutely crucial. Every hour you get under 7 hours a night could knock a full point off your IQ, directly hitting your reasoning skills and linguistic coherence. Throw in regular physical exercise, which literally buffs up the gray matter in your hippocampus, and you've got a foolproof blueprint to fight cognitive decline. Which takes us to Section 2, daily habits for brain power. All right, here is your rapid-fire foundation. Even though your baseline IQ stays relatively stable over your life, these specific daily actions will exponentially improve your memory, attention, and reasoning. We just saw the data on sleeping 7 to 9 hours, eating well, and exercising. But on top of the physical stuff, you have to challenge the software. Reading daily, doing logic games or puzzles, wrestling with new languages or musical instruments. These are the activities that force your neurons to fire and wire together, building a much denser, faster brain network. Think of your daily routine as having two distinct halves, perfectly represented by the mechanical and glowing sides of the brain you see here. One side is the mechanical, structural maintenance, reading, writing down ideas, and getting that blood flowing with exercise. The other side is your vibrant, creative energy, meditating to crush stress, ditching the digital distractions, and journaling to lock in memories. It's all about finding that perfectly balanced maintenance schedule. Now, to actually stick to those habits, you need motivation, right? And that comes down to increasing your dopamine. Dopamine is the chemical that keeps your brain primed, focused, and hungry to learn. But we want natural, sustained dopamine, not the cheap, fleeting hits from endless scrolling. We're talking about running, dancing, getting some sunlight, deep work, lifting weights, taking cold showers, even just savoring a moment or letting yourself be bored for a bit. Stepping away from the screen and engaging deeply with the real world is how you optimize your brain chemistry for high-level thinking. And when you do engage deeply, actual magic happens. Books are literally the ultimate fuel. Just look at this stunning visual metaphor. Reading allows your brain to absorb light and power right from the pages. You're basically downloading the life's work of another genius straight into your own neural network in a matter of hours. Daily reading and lifelong learning are what keep your mind brilliantly active and energized. Let's move into section 3, cultivating a growth mindset. It's amazing how stark the visual contrast is here. A poor mindset, one that's hyper-focused on limitations and complaining, is kind of like that gray, dead winter tree. It literally stunts your mental growth, withers your potential, and traps you in a fear of change. On the flip side, a rich mindset, fueled by positive energy, embraces learning from mistakes, taking action, and helping others. This expansive, growth-oriented mindset acts like pure sunlight, allowing your neural pathways to flourish, branch out, and really bloom. To fully adopt that rich mindset, we need to clear out some deeply ingrained limiting beliefs. Let's decisively bust 3 of the most common myths about intelligence right now. Number 1, geniuses never fail. Completely false. Like we talked about earlier, persistence through failure is a core trait of high intelligence. Number 2, IQ alone guarantees success. Also false. Without emotional, social, and adaptability intelligence, raw processing power usually just stalls out. And number 3, only children can become smarter. Thanks to the incredible science of neuroplasticity, we absolutely know that is entirely untrue. And finally, section 4, the 30-day brain challenge. So there's this whole visual menu of actionable, super easy habits right here that can brilliantly illuminate your brain. Exercising, reading, solving puzzles, practicing mindfulness, learning a language, getting good sleep, eating balanced meals, socializing. The list goes on. I'm challenging you right now, pick just one of these habits. Don't overwhelm yourself with the whole shebang. Choose one single habit that you are going to practice every single day for the next 30 days and commit to wiring it into your brain. Ultimately, remember this, your brain is exactly like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. The visual evidence is there, the science is completely proven, and the habits are entirely within your grasp. You are the architect of your own genius. So, are you going to let your brain shrink by another 1% this year, or are you going to start building it today?